Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today is Team Pixel Day. Let's check it out. Now this week there were tons of announcements from Google on improvements to their ecosystem as well as new devices. So we're really excited to be part of Team Pixel and being able to share with you more information about the new Pixels that became available this week. So today we're going to take a look at the Google Pixel 3, and I think it's going to be the 3XL. Again, 3A XL. Let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
Now, taking a closer look at what's in the box, we can see, we'll go ahead and open this up slowly. Ta-da! We have a card from our friends at Google. Thanks, Google. Let's see what this is. All right, okay. So we have, this is going to be great for groceries. So we have a Team Pixel bag. Check that out. Okay, these are going to be collectibles. All right, love it. Oh, and this is what we were looking for. All right, so we got some goodies here. Make sure we have everything. All right, we'll go ahead and put this aside, and we'll take a look at what we have. All right. So we have three things here, and boy, am I excited. So we have the Pixel 3A XL. Love the larger one. We also have the 3A XL case, which is also fantastic. We can try 1 month free Google Fi service on the Google Pixel 3A or 3XL. All right, so that's pretty cool. And then it looks like, yeah, we have a Team Pixel. Check it out. A Team Pixel pop socket. Nice. So let's get right to it and let's talk about the Google 3A XL and why you'd want to consider this as your next smartphone. Now, before doing the unboxing, we're going to talk about why you'd want to consider the Pixel 3A or 3A XL. And I have to say, there's two things that really comes to mind. One is the price. The price point for this phone is at the mid-range level that's going to make it an incredible affordable phone. So if you're looking for a phone where you don't have to have a long plan, you don't want to pay those monthly dues for the phone, this is the phone to consider. And the second reason is because the specs. Now, this is not going to be a flagship quality where you have uber memory, uber, I would say, space, but it has everything that you need for someone who is not into the high-spec phones. And I'm going to tell you that that's the majority of the public. So this phone is going to give you the quality that you'd expect from a Google phone. That means the photo quality, the selfie quality that you've seen on the channel as well as others, but it's going to give it to you at a very affordable price. And this is why you should be excited about the Google 3A and 3XL. The other thing that is incredibly different about this specific launch is that this phone is available everywhere. Literally, all your major carriers are going to have it. Well, except AT&T. But you can get it unlocked and then bring it to AT&T. And again, it's a very affordable phone. So let's take a look at some of the specs before we do the unboxing as to why you'd want to take a look at this phone. So now let's take a look at the specs and see which one you'd want to pick up. Because there's really only going to be two things that you look at: battery size and screen. Everything else is the same. So as we look at here, you either have the choice between a 5.6-inch display or a 6-inch display. So think about that for a second. Large screen or small screen? Pretty easy, right? The next thing you'll want to consider is battery size, which you're going to see in a second. Obviously, the larger phone is going to have a larger battery. The smaller one is going to have a smaller battery. So just think, I want a larger screen and battery, or I want a small screen and battery and a small battery. It's easy to make that choice. Now, as we take a look at other aspects, you're looking at a phone that's going to have the latest operating system. And that's the value of going with the Google phone. The fact that you don't really have to worry about updates because they're going to come in and they're going to come in fast. And you'll be able to get that for up to 3 years. The other thing is you have is a 12.2 megapixel camera. And that camera, the pictures that I've seen with this camera are very similar, if not identical. You can't tell the difference between the standard 3, which came out last year, and the one that just became available today. So all of those features are pretty much the same, and you're going to have that great picture quality. Over here you have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 670, and for those of you who are more on the techie side, that is not the latest chipset. But in my experience using the phone, I found that I really don't see that much of a difference. They really tuned the phone and the software to take advantage of what memory and what processor it has. So Again, this is targeted not for the high-end, super spec-focused person, but for the average person, which is the majority of us. So as we take a look at this also, you're going to get 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you're also looking at the dimensions of both, and they come in with 3 colors. You have clearly white, just black, or purplish. You do have stereo speakers, which you're going to see, and then this is the difference. Remember, we said that there was a second one. So you're looking at the battery, 3,000 milliamp hours versus a larger battery size with the XL. So let's go ahead and expand that for a second. 3,700. So if you're looking for the larger capacity, definitely that larger capacity is what you're going to want to look for because of that size. Now, one of the things that both of these support, which is pretty cool, is the fast charging. So these are going to charge, notice this, at 18 watt fast charging. So the charging capacity is going to be super fast, and that's going to be a great thing. Now, they didn't sacrifice on Wi-Fi, you didn't sacrifice on network compatibility, and here you can see again all the network bands, which would work with virtually all the carriers that you have out there, even the the ones here in the US as well as abroad. You have active sensor technology, which on the current Pixels, where you can actually squeeze on the side, so you can squeeze like this on the side, and then basically you can enable Google, you can do all these things with it. USB-C, which is great. You have an AR core, so this is for VR stuff. And then as you can see here, these are all the carriers that are right now part of this. But like I mentioned, if you get an unlocked one and it is GSM compatible, it's going to work on AT&T as well. That's how I'm testing mine out. So all of these are there. And the cool thing about this is that you're going to see more Pixels on the street than ever before because they're going to be available in all these carrier stores too. So let's go ahead and now take a closer look at the actual phone, and we'll do the unboxing. Now, as we do the unboxing, I just wanted to keep my 3XL and my 3 next to each other so that you can see what the difference is. Because as you look at them, you're going to see that they're very similar. So we'll go ahead and look at opening up the box. We have some tabs here that I'm just going to remove. I'll pull these off on each side, and then we'll slide the phone out. And immediately, as you start looking at this phone, you'll see that it is very, very similar from a back perspective to the existing phones. I'm going to put them right here, all side by side. All right? So when you look at them, they pretty much look all the same. Now, the construction is a little bit different, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else is inside. So in the box, you have, it looks like a SIM ejector. Right? You'll also find your USB-C cable, and you can see that it's dual USB-C on each side. And then right here, what you have is a little adapter. So you have standard USB and USB-C on this side. Let's see what else we have. This is probably going to be the power adapter. Yes, we do. So this is the power adapter. And again, this is going to be a fast charging power adapter because of the 18 watt fast charging technology that you have. So if you want to be able to get that fast charging, and you do get an additional, let's say, charging brick like this, make sure that it supports that fast charging so that you can take advantage of it. So pretty much that's what you see in the box. Pretty simple implementation. You know what you saw. You have your phone, you have your 2 cables, and your power brick. Now, taking a closer look at the phone, what you'll see is that they look very similar in the back. Matter of fact, if I take, this is the Simply Purple, and this is the white one, and you'll notice that they look really similar, right? But there's a big difference. This phone, despite it being bigger, actually is lighter than this phone. And as I'm holding it in my hand, comparing it to the standard 3, it's also really lighter. And that's because of the construction. Even though the back here looks like it's made out of the same material, this is actually a polycarbonate material. So remember the UAG cases, remember the OtterBox cases, the Poetic cases, the Spec cases, all those cases that we reviewed on the channel that are made out of that durable, I would say impact resistant plastic. That's what this is made of. And that's one of the ways that they were able to bring down and make this phone so much more affordable. So as we flip this over, you'll notice that you have, again, your screen here, and it does not have kind of like the notch that you saw with this guy right here. So it just has a standard screen. The other thing that you would see is that the speakers right here are at the bottom, right? But the cool thing is that it does have a headphone jack, so that's really cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to power it up. Now, as we're starting up the phone, and we're going to go through any kind of updates are required, and I give you a peek at what the operating system looks like. And again, it's standard Google, so it's going to look just like the Pixels that we have here. The one thing that I'll mention is that this phone does not have a wireless charging back. Now, as we're starting up the phone and letting it update, a couple things I just want to mention. That this phone does not support wireless charging, and it doesn't have an IP rating for water resistance. That also is one of the ways that they were able to make this phone more affordable. Now here we are at the actual startup, and it's going to be, again, the standard Google startup. So we're going to go ahead and go through the setup, and then we'll come back and see what has changed, if anything. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out was the display. So you'll notice here I have the 3XL, and you'll notice that it has the notch, and here I have the 3AXL, and it doesn't. Also, though, you have to look at there's a big price difference. So $399 for the small versions for the 3A, $479 for the 3AXL, which makes it very affordable for a mid-range phone. Comparing it to some of the other phones that are on the market, this does really well, given that it has a fantastic camera. It also has a great front-facing camera, and then it's just so well tuned. Let me show you what I'm referring to. So here you have our YouTube channel, and you can see this was the last video that Nelda and I did, and this had to do with Mother's Day gifts. So I'm just going to tap it and launch it so you can see how quickly it comes up. So it's already playing, and you saw how fast that was. So really, really fast. So I'm not noticing any difference when I compare it to my other phones, and that's really good. So the other thing that we'll do is we'll swipe up, and you'll notice that you have all these multitasking options here. So I can switch to this one, and I'll go ahead and swipe up again, and what I'll do is swipe over quick. So the responsiveness is good. It feels just like the 3XL that I had, or the standard 3 that has a different processor, different screen, and it's also a little bit heavier. But you're getting this at a much more affordable price. So performance feels really good. It feels really silky smooth. Response time seems to be really good as well. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to back this out, and I'm going to choose another video so that we can see how the launch is. I'm going to choose this one right here. And notice how fast that's playing. So again, this is what I'm looking for. How fast do the videos play? And the next thing what we can do is we can try out the camera. How fast does a camera actually take a picture? So we're going to leave the camera on, and what I'm going to do is just leave this on the top so it's multitasking, and I'm going to take the picture. Again, pretty fast. So let me know if you're going to choose the Pixel 3a or the Pixel 3a XL, because I have to say, for the price and the features and the design, I think it's a winner. Would love to hear from you in the comment area below.